Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? I don't know. All right, there we go. Hello, once again, welcome to BeerNative. My name is Steve Giguere, and let's get into it. All right, so I did what a lot of people in the United Kingdom did recently, and I went to Lidl. Lidl, if you don't know, is a discount supermarket, very similar to another one in its four-letter naming convention like Aldi. I'm not going to get into the history of these two and how they kind of go head to head with their weird middle aisle where you can just buy all sorts of random shit. And they have discount stuff. And in these, let's say, recession heavy times, getting cheap beer is important. Went there to pick up some. Well, I mean, as we approach a month or so away from the holiday time in the UK, they tend to have a lot of let's call it super weird stuff. And I was kind of hoping that there would be maybe some super weird beers. Big shout out to my viewer, to Mersey Bears, who was watching. Yes, I haven't seen you in ages. We have to it would be great to meet up at a beer festival in the near future. And I went to Lidl, and my hopes and dreams were satisfied. I got 3 there, and I would imagine if I go back in a few weeks, maybe I'll see some more. And they're all related to Scotland, as you would imagine. And I'll show you what I got. So the first one I got, not the one I'm going to talk about today in detail, is this one, BeerNative Brewing. Tropical Trossachs, advocates for better beer, 4.5%. It's got, so it has one of those things I don't really like where they get a beer and they just drop fruit in, pineapple and mango. So I'm going to do some hot take reviews, some I don't normally do. And my hot take review on that is it's actually pretty boring. I've had it, I tried it, I tasted it, and it was like very watery. Hold on. Response. The answer to that is yes. And that's it. The other answer to viewer question, I don't have one yet. So please suggest an advent calendar for beer that if you know is good. I've done some pretty elaborate ones in the past, but I'm going to be traveling a lot in December, so it's going to be a little bit, whoa. If I do get one, there might be some cluster reviews, which isn't bad. The other one I have, which I do kind of like the name. It's the Totemic series from Williams. They always have these very, very, I would highly rate this art. I think it's totally badass. It's a lager. It's got guava in. It's only 3.5. So I'd say this is basically a breakfast beer. It's a juice you can have with your cereal. Not had that one yet. I think it'll be okay. I don't have high hopes for it. But what I do have high hopes for, though, is what I'm going to try today with you. And that is 71 Brewing's Big Drifter. It's a 6.5 West Coast IPA. I wonder if you can read this, because they do put the hops on. Yes, Azacca, Cryo, Citra, and Simcoe. I'm a fan of that combination, definitely. So I think we might be onto a winner, which I'm pretty thrilled about. And I'm not going to waste any more time. So if you're curious about that other brand, actually, and I was a little bit, BeerNative Brewing, you're like, never heard of them. Let me share something here. So BeerNative, here we go, is a Stewart Brewing, which you'll find a lot of those at Lidl. Collaboration with Lidl. So it's like I'm not gonna say like a fake brand. If you asked Steve Stewart, there you go, Steve Stewart down here, he's gonna think it's a great idea. But really, I'm like, yeah, when that happens, it's a good idea, bad idea in my impression, because you're not gonna literally water down your own brand, and allows you to conform to a supermarket's we want stuff that's really general and people will buy requirement. Good, bad, I don't know, but it doesn't. I bought one just to try it, and it was a bit nah. Let's call it that. I did mention Totemic, so let's quickly shine a light on that. There you go. Really cool, right? Yeah, no doubt. I'm not gonna spend too much time there. 71 Brewing. I thought I had reviewed them before, and it turns out I hadn't. I had to go look. By the way, I've never shown this, I don't think, on screen. This is my beer map. Every time I have a beer, I have like an automated system that updates the map and shows where the brewery is, etc. But 71 comes up with only a Pohjola one in Estonia, which would be way almost off the map, way out here. There it is. It'd be one of these. So Apparently I haven't done them justice. Let's pop it. So we're talking Cryo Citra, so that's good. It says it's a West Coast IPA, which means it's going to be punchy and bitter, which I like. West Coast Citra and Azacca are not Azacca, Simcoe are all a part of that profile. And that's got Azacca hops. Azacca hops are, I guess, also West Coast. I think they're from Washington. Actually, Mersey Brews might know. Trembling Madness for doing an advent calendar. Done. I'm buying it after this. All right. Pretty dark. A little darker on screen than it is in my real life. So that's not too bad. I'm always curious about Azacca hops because they tend to bring a stone fruit kind of flavor. And I like that. But I think that combination is going to be great. Azacca hops were, I think they were made by the, I'm going to get this totally controversially named, but they changed it. I think it's the American Dwarf Hop Association, or ADA. That sounds like ADHD. And that had to change because I don't know why, but I guess you can't say dwarf anything, even though you're talking about agriculture. And so now they're called the, I don't know, Appreciation for Development of Hops in America, or some other, same acronym, different word. I thought that was kind of funny. So still, great hop. I'm going to smell out of the can. Hold on. Wow, very neutral. I was excited. The head really blew up. Super foamy. A little soapy even. All right, let's try it. My hopes have been dashed. I'm going to try one more time. Oh, I can see my internet is getting flaky. I have too many. You know what? You know when that happens? It's because I have 10,000 tabs open. 71 Brewing is from Dundee. And they do have a very cool offering. Like if you just look at their website, and I'm going to just do this a little bit for a second. You can see they have some edgy stuff. Like it's American Imperial, like a triple espresso stout, 8%. Like they're not pulling punches in terms of what they're offering. But what I'm feeling kind of funny about is I don't like this one. I'm going to sip it again. You can tell it's 6.5, but I felt like they've really underdone the hops. I do think this is very little friendly because it's very easygoing. But for the beer appreciator, I mean, at £1.50, I mean, who can complain, right? But it doesn't have, like, it's as if the Azacca hops don't exist at all. It's it almost like as a Simcoe one hop variety, heavily malted. Could have gone further with the fermentation to get beyond 6.5 because it's got a little bit of a sweet element. Maybe they relied too much on the malt, but it's not that great. It's just not that great. Value for money at £1.50. Yeah, I mean, come on, right? Of course, it's going to be value for money at £1.50 as long as it's not horrible. At 6.5, you bought a bunch of these over to a friend's house and didn't say anything didn't build it up. They'd probably think it was all right. I think it's more like I had the Cornish Atlantic Pale Ale over the weekend, and it's a little like that. You know, that's a very generic bar beer from Cornwall. It's very similar. All right. Well, I'm going to drop it there. A little disappointing. I don't know why I get my hopes up because the profile of it was fantastic. But we're making £1.50 beers here, Steve. Just I'm talking to myself there. It's not perfect, but it's all right. It's all right. I think when I go and give it a rating on Untappd, it's going to get a mid to low 3s. If I could give it extra points for value, I probably will. I may. Who knows? The design is good, the intent is good, and if you just want to get, if your objective is to get just super effed up on a Christmas day and you want a beer that doesn't suck, hey, so far my top recommendation is 6.5, slightly malty, slightly hoppy, generic pale ale. Boom. Is it a West Coast? Nope. That is the end of this one, and I hope I'll come back with another one because I'm going to go to Aldi next and see what they've got. I'll do a little bit of stalking of Lidl, and maybe I'll come back with something special. I will be back in Las Vegas in just over a week's time, and I'm pretty excited about that. So if you're lucky, if I'm lucky, I'll pop out and pick up another IPA for a slightly rough around the edges hotel review. So if I don't do another one next week, which I hope to, catch me in Vegas in 2. All right, that is the end of this beer review. This has been Big Drifter West Coast IPA, Cryo, Citra, Simcoe, and Azacca. Not that you would know it. It's okay. That's the end. Steve out.